If you interview for the Apple Store, one of the things that you can expect to encounter at some point, typically the group interview stage, is you will have to role play in which you pretend to be an Apple Store employee and the manager conducting the interview will pretend to be a customer. In today's video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know so that you can differentiate yourself as a great candidate and stand out from the competition. And make sure you stay till the end, because at the very end of this video, I'm going to be sharing the acronym that Apple uses to tell their people this is how you should treat customers. So I'm going to give you all that information and more right now. Now, first and foremost, I've spoken with several people who have successfully interviewed and gotten hired at the Apple Store. And they said that the role-playing exercise was a big portion of it. Now, there's a chance they might not do it, but the vast majority of people I've spoken with says it was part of the interview process. It was in a group setting with 3 or 4 other candidates also in the group interview stage, and that it was a bit intimidating. But the best way to make sure this isn't intimidating for you is to go in prepared. So let's get prepared so that when you do that interview, you absolutely crush it and it doesn't derail your candidacy. Now, the first thing you need to acknowledge is that Apple isn't expecting you to be incredibly informed. This isn't them testing you on your Apple product knowledge. Rather, this is more so about you being friendly and you being approachable and you demonstrating the type of demeanor that they think is appropriate to help customers in the Apple Store. So the first thing that I want to share in terms of a lesson and a takeaway is that approachability is much more important than in-depth knowledge when it comes to the role-playing exercise in the Apple Store interview. Now, the second thing I want to share is that you want to be helpful, right? So that means you need to find out what the customer is looking for, what they need, and how to help meet their requirements. So when you're helping them, you're not necessarily trying to sell them on a specific Apple product. Instead, focus on asking questions. Find out how they're going to be using this product, what brings them into the store today. Have they used any Apple products in the past? For me, here's what I would say. You want to make sure you ask the following questions and state them this way. First and foremost, you want to say something along the lines of, welcome, what brings you in today? 2 things happen here. 1, you're welcoming them in, which is important. I'll discuss why later. And then secondly, you're asking them what brings you in today. That is an open-ended question. They can take it wherever they want, but it allows for good discussion and dialogue. And as a salesperson or someone who is going to be an Apple specialist, that gives them the opportunity with a blank canvas to tell you exactly what it is they're looking for, and you could take it from there. Now from there, they'll probably give you an example of the type of thing they're looking for. Maybe it's a computer, maybe it's an iPad. And then you want to ask them the question, great, what will you be using this for, right? Because what they're going to be using it for might give you an idea of, do they need a more basic version? Do they need a deluxe version? Are they going to need more computing power? Is it going to be less so? So you see, asking questions like this makes it about them and not about you. If you try to hard sell someone on a product, it makes it about you. But asking them, welcome, what brings you in today? What are you going to be using this product for? Have you had any Apple products in the past and how did you use them? These are questions that make it about them. You're friendly, you're inquisitive, you're approachable. This is what they're looking for. Now, some of you are probably thinking, okay, but I still don't know if I'm ready. I still don't feel entirely comfortable doing this. Here's a pro tip. Pick an Apple Store, one that you're not going to be interviewing with or pursuing for your job opportunity, and go into that store pretending to be a customer. And go in there and ask questions, pretend you're looking for a product. I mean, maybe you are looking for a product, but make note of what they say. What do they say to you? How do they greet you? What are the questions they ask you? That way, when it comes time for your Apple Group interview, you're prepared to actually talk to it and replicate the activities of someone who has been hired and trained by the Apple Store. Now, the last thing I want to say, and this is about the customer service mindset of an Apple employee. And knowing this will give you an advantage when you're actually interviewing for the role. But the Apple Store associates are trained to walk customers through 5 distinct service steps. They adapted this from the Ritz-Carlton method, and it beautifully spells out the acronym Apple. So the first one, A, stands for approach customers with personalized, warm welcome. So I mentioned this earlier, like the welcome, what brings you in today, but it's all about being friendly. So when you're actually when you're interviewing and you're doing the role-playing exercise, you've got to keep in the front of your mind, I need to be friendly and approachable. So that warm welcome is step 1. Now, P stands for probe politely to find out customer needs. So that is, like I said earlier, what are you going to be using this for? But you're digging in politely to find out what product is going to be best for them. So remember, you're friendly and welcoming. you're asking questions to find out exactly what it is they're looking for. That's steps 1 and 2. Now, the second P is present a solution for the customer to take home today. So after asking all these questions, then you want to say, well, I think this product would meet your needs. Right there. So you're selecting a product for them that they could take home today. Now, L stands for listen and resolve issues or concerns. So if during your role-playing exercise they have a concern, you want to hear that and work to address it for them in a friendly way. So if they're going, I had one like this before, but I felt like it just didn't move fast enough. You can be like, I totally understand that. That would be frustrating. However, in our newer models, the computing power is more significant, so you shouldn't have that issue. That right there is listening for a problem and solving it. Now, the last letter is E. End with a fond farewell and an invitation return, so make sure you nail this, right? When you're doing your role play, hey, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciated getting to learn about your needs. I hope to see you in the future. If you close out like that and the other people in your group interview, they don't close out, they don't do the things you do, you are absolutely going to stand out. So if you can follow these steps, APPLE, approach customer with personalized warm welcome, probe politely to understand their needs, present a solution for them to take home today, listen to resolve issues and concerns, and end with a fond farewell and an invitation to return, you will absolutely stand out and crush your interview. Now, you are done here, but you gotta watch this video. This video right here is really interesting. It's a brand new Apple video that I made. It was from like a week or 2 ago, and it's the newest question that they're asking in the Apple Store interview process. If you watch this video, you will absolutely learn how to answer that question. Go watch it now.